welcome to my video. My name is Lucy. I'm a pregnancy and postnatal trainer. I have a workout group online called Workout with Lucy, and I'm mother to my little girl Dolly, who is 6 months old. Today's video is part 2 of my TTC journey. I'm just trying to think where to start. Okay, so as I said in my last video, I had a miscarriage at 13 weeks. I did have to have surgery after that. I'm going to talk about that in a whole other video. So it was now June 25th. I had the surgery that day. I remember the doctor saying to me that, I'd have to wait for my cycle to come back before I could try again. So all I remember is just wanting to be pregnant again straight away. I think anybody who loses a child understands how that feels. I just wanted to be pregnant straight away. I just didn't want to waste any time. I didn't want to waste time. I thought I was pregnant for like 3 months and I really wanted to be pregnant again straight away. But obviously we had like a lot of grieving to do. But anyway, TTC 2. So it was like July and my cycle came and went, but I didn't ovulate. So this way it gets a bit like obsessive. I started to use OPKs, which are ovulation prediction kits. So they look like a tiny little thin rod, like a piece of paper, a card thing, and you dip it in your wee, and you're meant to use them late morning or early afternoon, so around 11 a.m, 2 p.m. And you're meant to use it around the time you are supposedly going to ovulate or the build up, and it kind of, you get a line that tells you that you're releasing a hormone called luteinizing hormone, LH hormone. That hormone's released prior to an egg being released from the ovaries. So it doesn't absolutely certainly tell you you've ovulated. It's saying to you that if you've got any chance to, it's going to be now, sort of thing. So so I was using those, and you use them usually like a few days after your period's finished, because that's most people ovulate about 10 days after the period. So so this month 2 came round, or to be August time. I'd got like a bunch of these off Amazon, like £3.50 for like 25 or 50 of them, because you might use 2 a day for maybe like 5 days in total. So I was getting these peaks where the line was really dark, but it wasn't quite as dark as the test line. It has to be as dark as or darker than to say that you release this hormone. So I was starting to use those. I was determined not to use a basal like temperature chart thing where you take a temperature every morning. I didn't want to go down that route. And I think the thing to talk about here was like the fun gets taken out of trying for a baby. Like, my husband definitely didn't want to know about all these ins and outs. It put a lot of pressure and stress on him. And you can't help it, especially after you've had a loss, like to talk about, oh, I'm going to ovulate this time, that time, this time. Like, it's a lot of pressure on you as a couple. And the best advice I had was from one friend who had gone through it with her partner, and she said, just don't tell them. Don't tell them anything. It's the most unattractive thing ever. Don't want to know. So anyway, September came round again, tracking everything on Flow app, like I mentioned before, using ovulation sticks. Still didn't fall pregnant. So that's month 3. And then in the October, my husband and I were due to go away to Scotland for a few days. And funnily enough, I was to ovulate at the time we were away. So I'm thinking, oh my God, amazing. Like, we're going away, it's a trip, we'll be relaxed, and I'll ovulate. And yeah, I took the OPKs with me, got a real strong positive. I think it was on the Monday morning. So remember, I've got a photo still, I'll try and share it if I can find it. And it was a real strong positive. So when you get that positive, it means that if you are going to ovulate, it'll be within the next 12 to 24 hours. So like, if you think that like, oh, you get a bit obsessed with it. So basically I was thinking to myself, okay, so even if, we had sex now, it can still take X amount of time for sperm to get to the egg. And like, what if your egg, so an average egg lives for up to 24 hours. This is what was going through my head. The average egg lives for up to 24 hours. So I was thinking like, oh my God, so if my egg lives for 12 hours and we don't have sex for another 6 hours, and it takes this many hours for sperm to get there, I've missed it. And you get like really, really hung up on it. Anyway, unfortunately, we didn't fall pregnant that cycle, nor did we fall pregnant in November, the following month. So At this point, I was doing symptom checking or symptom spotting. You guys, I'm sure you know what that is. If you're TTC, you will see everything as a symptom that you're pregnant. And what I figured out was everything is a symptom that you're pregnant, and it's also a symptom that you're PMS or you're just a woman. Like, the symptoms are so identical. Like, I remember being at work and like my eyesight getting a little bit blurry. That's a symptom. Like literally everything. I was like, I am absolutely sure I'm pregnant. I'm so sure I'm pregnant. And then my period would come, and you just would like get so upset and cry and just feel so frustrated. All I binge watch was videos like this all the time. So I totally get where you're coming from if you're watching this for that reason. But anyway, the month I conceived my daughter was a month where I think I just got so fed up with it all, but I couldn't let go. It was like addictive. And a friend said to me, promise you, and I hate this advice, and I'm so sorry to tell you this, guys. She said, I promise you, when you just relax about it, it'll happen. I thought, how can it happen if I relax? I need to know when I'm ovulating. I need to know this. But anyway, I decided in the late November, my cycle came round. I had my period like late November. I thought, right, I'm not doing it. I'm not a symptom spotting. I'm not a symptom checking. I'm just going to do an ovulation stick, and I'm going to try and time it my best and leave that where it lies. Like, I'm not doing anything else. So that's what I did. For 2 whole weeks, I didn't do any symptom checking. I remember like taking on a new challenge at work so I could like be distracted. And so a few other things I did as well, like, sounds so stupid, but like the Chinese say you should keep your feet warm. So like, bear with me a sec. I think like they're so smart, and they have like a belief that when the feet are cold, the body draws energy down to the body rather than keeping it where you may have an embryo trying to like grow or implant. So I kept my feet warm. I didn't do any intense training or cardio at the gym because, as you guys know, obviously I'm a trainer. So I just stuck like maintenance weights just for those 2 weeks because, again, energy, it's got to go somewhere, and I didn't want any energy to be taken away from any potential like life that was growing. So I made sure to keep my workouts there. I was still working out, but just not intense, where I was like gasping for breath. Kept myself warm. I cut out alcohol during that 2 weeks again as well. I know like lots of people fall pregnant and they're drinking, they don't even realise they're pregnant. But for me, I just wanted to make sure I was doing everything I could. But other than all those things, and I've been doing them the entire time, I just wasn't thinking about it. Like, I just wasn't thinking about it. I just chilled out. I got stuck in at work. I relaxed at home, walked my dogs. And it was a Saturday, a week before Christmas, exactly to the day. And I remember I was in town and I was 17 days past ovulation and my period hadn't come. And normally that phase of my cycle is about 14 days at the most. So I remember thinking to myself, okay, like, I've been really patient. I haven't done a single pregnancy test, not one. And before, I'd be doing them from like 4 days after my period, like 4 days. After my ovulation. So I hadn't done a single pregnancy test. So I bought a dead cheap pregnancy test. It was like £2 for £1. And I went home and I sort of half forgot about it, just unpacking some bits of Christmas presents and whatever. And then I did the test, put it to one side, started wrapping presents, forgot about it. Went back and looked, and it was like a massive positive, and it was like 2 to 3 weeks pregnant. Because I did a second one after that. I had a special expensive one to the side ready, and I did a second one and it told me I was like 3 weeks pregnant. So the cycle I conceived was the cycle where I didn't stress about it. However, I did put into place absolute necessities. Like, I made sure that we tried before my ovulation, not on, but before, at least 5 days before, and catch it early, because I kept missing my ovulation on the last few months of trying. I hope all that makes sense, guys. If there's any questions, please put them in the comments below. I hate to be the bearer of the fact that the month that I felt pregnant was the month I tried to relax about it. Everyone tells you that, and it's like the last thing you want to hear because you can't relax. But if I could give you any advice, it'd be to try to conceive before you ovulate, a few days before. Don't leave it last minute like I was doing all those other cycles. I was definitely missing it every single time. And also just try to relax about it. Sorry about that, but that's what worked for me. But guys, please keep watching, because my next video I'm going to talk about my miscarriage story. Although it's a really sad topic, I do a massive believer in sharing the positives and the negatives in life, or the sad things that happen, because you're definitely going to help someone else through it. And I know, again, when I had my miscarriage, I was binge watching videos for support on YouTube. So I hope that my videos can be support to you guys as well. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. Don't forget to click like and subscribe, and I'll see you next video. Bye.